Hey you, so I've been asked a question, so I thought I'd do this video on it. So the question was, do I believe silver will ever increase in value? And it was basically come from an individual that was more heavily into stacking gold and was just questioning as to why I even bothered invested in silver, as they thought silver was just an industrial metal and it just would never increase in value in their eyes. So it was just asking why I thought it would. So I thought I'd just do this video. I've touched upon a few of the reasons why in previous videos, but thought I'll take the time to do this specific video and also put it out there for individuals watching this to answer and give their views on the same question. I mean, do you think silver will ever increase in value, or do you think it's purely just an industrial metal now? Now, I know that's how some people see it. I'm going to give my answer in this video, but I also see it that a lot of people have come to this conclusion due to the way the system is currently set up. And that's always been a case of purchasing the metal, whether it be gold or silver, and then for some reason, whatever that may be, going to liquidate or cash out a small portion of it and then get stung. Whereas with silver, you're paying a lot more coming in and you're getting a lot more going out. I've seen situations where the premiums are higher on silver. Yes, that's a fact. But I couldn't tell you the answer why that is. You know, because when you look at it, a lot of people will say, well, you know, there's more silver than gold. Silver's the byproduct, so it's not what they actually go mining for. It's an industrial metal. So if it's got the lesser position, why is it being sold for more? You know, in the UK, we pay no tax on gold, but we pay tax on silver. Whereas I understand different parts of the world, it's vice versa, versa. But, you know, in the end of the day, you're always going to be paying a premium for silver, but come time to sell it, and this is why I see a lot of people frown upon this, you will not get spot. Certain dealers only pay a certain percentage of spot, so that could be anywhere from 98%, I think is reasonable. Now, they do that because obviously the metal's so volatile, so anything can happen between the time they actually take the piece off of you and put it in their vaults. But then you have to take into account the premium you also paid for silver. Now, that is why a lot of people frown upon it, but that's not silver's fault. That's the current system that we're all playing and working within's fault. It's easy to then say, well, this is why I'm going to write off silver, because I can basically purchase gold at down near spot price, 2 or 3% above spot, and then come time to sell it, technically get spot price or even 98%, you damn near think that's just a bus fare, or, you know, that's a more than acceptable fee in today's world when places like eBay can take anything from 15%, auction, your standard auction house can take 20 to 25%. When you do it against, I don't know, you're picking up at whatever spot is today, paying a small premium, 2% above spot, and then selling it at spot, or basically 98% below spot, not taking into account you didn't pay a large premium to purchase the piece. The system currently favors gold, so I can see why individuals see that. I personally think silver will increase in price because currently, whereas the big push is that it's just an industrial metal, it's all junk now, I don't believe that's the case. I think, if anything, its title is being stripped away from it. Silver has and always will be a means of exchange and a storage of wealth. You can't take that away from it. It's real easy to say, well, you know, now it just is an industrial metal. That's not the case. You can go into any local coin store and they're going to be, if they're selling metals, if you're talking rare metals, we're going to be looking at palladium or platinum, but you're always going to be seeing gold and silver. They go hand in hand. When one increases, the other will also follow. I'm not saying gold is not number one for a reason. I couldn't tell you even why individuals have placed gold as number one. For me, silver being an industrial metal also gives it another notch on its resume. I don't personally see that as a hindrance or working against it. I can't, me looking at that, thinks, okay, it's got more hats to it, so it should be worth more. But obviously, I don't know, increasing the price and it being used in so many industries, I can't tell you whether it is replaceable or, you know, it's become more redundant in industry. I can't tell you that information. What I can tell you is that, yes, it is used in a lot of stuff. And yes, as much as you would like to strip it of its investment potential, that's not the case. You have situations where government mints actually sell bullion investment silver, as you're looking at here. Just your standard American Eagles, you know, your silver maples and your Britannias. These are the anniversary ones right here. So it's still sold as bullion. So I see it as, yes, right now in the current system, when you're paying a higher premium coming in, which I still couldn't even answer you why. I don't know why we and some countries charge a much higher premium like the UK plus VAT on top of that. I can't tell you that. But if all it takes is a correction, and this is what I believe, because once everybody, if you've got a gold rush tomorrow and everybody floods out as they do and goes to their local coin store, their dealers, and gold's first, it just instinctively everybody knows gold is first. They go for the gold and the gold's run out. What do you think happens from there? They don't shop and say, well, that's it, folks, that's it. But what's going to happen then is they'll go for the next, and that'll be silver. Now, I can't tell you from there whether it'll be, oh my God, there's so much less silver, why isn't it number one? I can't tell you how that will play out, but I can tell you that silver will increase in price just from that frenzy there that will be happening. So I do believe it will increase in price. It has been a higher price before from the situation that was happening then. It's easy to write it off. It's easy to say that was a one-off, you know, it's just an industrial metal, but I don't believe that's the case. We're not talking about whether it can surpass gold, you know, that's a different conversation that I've covered in different videos. But I do believe that it's extremely underpriced for what it is. I think there has been a big push to, you know, delabel it in a sense that, oh, you know, but it's not something you can delabel. It started off as something, it's been something as a means of exchange, it's been money, you know, forever. So you can say, because we become more technologically advanced, as I struggle to get this box open, that it is now only just that, but that's not the case, you know. Dealers and mints still sell it as what it was originally meant for. That's not some big scam that's taking place, like the mints are laughing, oh my gosh, I can't believe they bought this industrial metal off of us. They're not, well, they damn near do sell every type of rare earth metal also. But I think to write it off purely because of the situation that it's in, when it comes time to liquidate and it's being charged for a higher premium, you know, it's all on the individual. It always is the silver underdog for me. I think it is extremely underpriced, and this is why I still invest in it. Why I lent more towards the gold sector is because at one point I was very silver heavy, top heavy silver. So I thought to myself, and taking a lot of information since I've had the channel, conversating with individuals, that it would have been a lot smarter for me to have a good healthy foothold in both and not just on one, just to secure myself. I've got a lot riding in the metals, and you know, the last thing I want to do is put all my eggs in one bucket. So that's what made me diversify a lot more. But in no means have I written off silver and that it's never going to rise. You can tell me it's an industrial metal. Yes, I acknowledge that and I agree with that, but it's not just an industrial metal to me. So it'd be fantastic to find out what you guys think and whether it will actually increase in price, because a lot of the hate comes when individuals need to liquidate, and that's just something that really needs to be taken into account before you purchase it. And this is what I try to highlight to a lot of individuals these days. You know, if an individual comes to me and they've got like £1,000, I realistically now, when I sit down and talk with them, the conversation more or less starts off with, will you ever need to touch or liquidate these funds? Because if you do, you may want to sit, because this is where you get the incredible Hulk stackers, as I've referred to in the past. It's when the unforeseen curveball presents itself, or they need to liquidate. That's when they realize and they start hating on the silver metal right here, because they wasn't aware that come time to liquidate, you're not going to be receiving the same as you put in. It takes a big jump in spot price. What I saw when my stack, I believe I done a video stating I could have liquidated at the time and really cashed out large, but that's just the game. But I still think you can gain in the long run more on a better multiplier in silver in the long run. But it is more important than even on gold that you need to be able to purchase and hold. You know, in your holding and waiting for the price correction, if you're going to have to liquidate sooner than later, and you're going to be looking at your silver, you're going to be feeling a bit of pain depending on when you got in. So I think that's really important for a lot of individuals to understand. And this is why if an individual can't give me an answer or is not sure themselves, I would say to be on the safe side, it's best you go the gold route. And that's the information I give nowadays. But if you want to do the long bet or the long gamble, or put your money into, you know, an insurance or hedge against inflation and the likes of, mix it up, but definitely don't write it off as just an industrial metal. So it'll be great to find out what you guys think. Do you think it will actually increase in price, and maybe by how much? A little bit was the last time we saw a spike, with a flash spike. Do you reckon we'll see those highs or higher? I personally do believe we'll see those highs and a lot higher when there's no more gold, which I will definitely say is number one. They'll be going for the silver. Then we can get situations where we start looking at them and questioning why one's worth more than the other, or which one is more important than the like. So we need to first see the price correction before we can start talking about that. But I do sincerely believe that silver is definitely a precious investment metal, and it will most definitely increase in price. And those are my reasons why. But once again, it'd be fantastic to hear your reasons for why you think it never will be. It's just dead in the water, just an industrial metal, and even fading out at that. You know, graphene and all these other replacements are doing a better job there. If that's the case, somebody really wants silver to really fade out into the shadows and, you know, just forget its history. Let's look at it for what it is now, and it's just nothing, just a lump of metal. So, you know, go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments on why you believe silver won't increase in price or will increase in price. Don't forget to come and follow me on the links that I left in the description as we look at this F15 2016 Kookaburra. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you guys on a rebound.